Should I stay, should I leave? Don't know which way to go. My mind is saying yes, my heart keeps saying no.
Guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. This is going to be a scent trunk episode. We're going to finish up my scent trunk subscription videos with month number 7. They might or might not send me more. I would say this is probably gonna be it. I think they recently asked me for some in-depth feedback, which I provided, and I'll let you guys know what I think of the scent trunk service after we look at what came in my latest package. You guys know the drill. The service costs $18 a month, but you can get a free trial a month if you just cover the $495 shipping. The way the service works is if you go online, fill out what kind of fragrances you're into and what kind of notes you like, they will send you 3 niche or indie fragrances each month. You get 3 2 ml samples that look exactly like this, and the packaging and presentation is super nice. Let's go over what they sent me this month. They'll come in a little pouch like this one and a nice cardboard box that looks like this. It'll say scent trunk. It'll be white cardboard. Sometimes it's black, and they'll give you some instructions in the intro. Log in to rate these fragrances. We use your feedback to adjust the scent in the next box. Like any relationship, things will get better the more we know each other. So they sent me 3 fragrances. The first fragrance they sent me is called Maxed Out, and this one says, inspired by the crazed youthful misadventures of perfumer Sarah McCartney's friend Maximilian Heusler. Sounds like a great guy. Maxed Out's a boozy, swaggering, delicious, illicit journey through the never-ending nightlife of New York City. As McCartney puts it, the kind of night out in New York you don't remember. Top notes cumin, middle notes rum and coconut, base notes vanilla cedar. Price $285. Part of me is flattered that Maximilian Heusler received Maxed Out, which I co-created. And part of me thinks you're sending these out for review. Maybe you're trying to show that you don't do these differently. It's a great fragrance, I think, to send out. I think you can get this cheaper than $285, at least in the United States. Unlucky Scent, which is our exclusive sales point in the US. The top note isn't cumin. Great fragrance. Glad. I have really mixed feelings about getting this one, so I guess I'll say that I'm really glad they provided it. I think it's a good fragrance to send to people. I wish it hadn't been sent to me, and I wish the card had looked a little differently, I guess is all I could say. But really good one. I don't want to talk too much about the fragrance. If you've checked it out, you've checked it out. Enjoy it. And I actually am really glad that Scent Trunk is sending this one out, because I think it's a really different fragrance, and I do think it sort of vibes with their aesthetic of trying to give people different stuff. The next one is called DEV number 2, the main act from Olympic Orchids. This one based on the novel Quantum Demonology by Sheila Eggenberger. His smoky, dense, and rich composition is a big, insistent fragrance that represents a romantic phase when the tempestuous love affair between the protagonist and DEV is proceeding in all of its ups and downs. Perfumer in this one is Ellen Cove. I think it's Ellen Cove, actually. I think it's Cove. I think this card is wrong as well. Top notes, incense and cloves. Middle notes, cinnamon and labdanum. Base notes, immortelle and oud. $65 for 50 ml. A really good fragrance. Smoky. It's from the United States, this one. Very, very, very smoky. I get a lot of oud. I don't get much immortelle. I get oud and labdanum. And some incense in this one, certainly. I don't get the cinnamon or cloves. I think it's nice. I just feel like I've smelled a lot of oud fragrances like this one, but I know Olympic Orchids, obviously. I love what Ellen did with Bat for Victor and Zoologist. This isn't my favorite that I've smelled from her. I just think this one's really one-dimensional. So not a bad fragrance. I'd be happy to get this though. If I had a scent trunk package and I got fragrances like this every month, I'd be happy. So the last one we're gonna look at is this one, and this is called Number 6 Tempt Fate by Body Conjure. So a house I had never heard of, did a little bit of research, still don't know that much about them. I guess they're a United States house, and the description on this guy is fresh, gorgeous, layered compounds of fine essential botanicals blended into rich and beautiful creations. Kind of sounds like a little bit of bullshit to me. That have wonderful and sometimes surprising stories to tell for each wearer. Like everywhere, every Body Conjure perfume contains elements of the feminine and masculine. Be brave, be yourself, don't worry about the label. Don't love this description. Top notes bergamot and lime, middle notes myrrh oak moss, base notes Indonesian patchouli leaf, $68 for 15 ml. Extremely mediocre for me. I get citrus, oak moss, and resin. It's stronger than your normal citrus fragrances, darker, but not exciting. Just not exciting for me. I'm excited by Body Conjure because I actually took a look on them online, and they have some fragrances that look interesting to me. This is not a great introduction for me. That's just for me. I just think it's very mediocre. The citrus is okay. I have smelled 10,000 things like this, I feel like. And when you're paying money for scent trunk, you want to smell things you haven't smelled before. And that's why, as mixed as my feelings are for Maxed Out, I think that they're doing something really different with that one. And I think there's a lot of fragrances I've gotten over the past 6 months that I have really appreciated. So what is my takeaway from my time with the service? I think it's okay. I think it would be a lot better. I think it could be a lot better, but I think what you guys probably really want to know is this service worth it? Yes or no? And the answer is so often in life to me isn't yes or no. It depends. If you live in a city near a bunch of places where you can check out niche and indie fragrances and develop relationships with sales associates, then I don't think you should pay for the service at all. I think it would be a huge waste of your money right now. You could probably smell whatever you want, even if it's not what's offered here. You could really, if you develop those relationships, even before I was really reviewing hardcore, I could walk into Barney's, I could walk into Bergdorf's, I could walk into Min, I could walk into these places and just say what's up to the sales associate, and they'd hand me tester strips, and I could just test to my heart content. And if I like something, they would make me up a sample, because not even I paid so much money and bought so much, because they knew I was really interested and I was a potential client all the time. And at that point, if you're into fragrances like that and you live in a place where they're that accessible, this is a waste of money. You know, you could use that $18 towards a music plan, Spotify, Apple. I use Apple, but whatever you want to use. And then you could even get like a Netflix streaming plan. But, and with that said, actually, before I get to but, if Scent Trunk can get to the point where they're breaking new stuff out and they're pulling shit out that's under the rocks, maybe my opinion will change. But too often they have sent me stuff that's either been on my radar, something I already owned or had smelled, and this month they sent me something I co-developed. So someone like me, no, like this is just foolish for me. But with that said, if you live in an area where you can't sample like that, this could be a very worthwhile, neat little service. And I've seen 2 or 3 other services at this point like Scent Trunk, and I will certainly say product-wise and content-wise, this one is definitely the best, far and away. And they're getting better and better at finding interesting houses and interesting scents. But I think for a company like this, product is everything. Product. With stores, they say location, and I agree with that. In a city, with an internet product, more than advertising, and I do a lot of market research for what I do right now, it's about having product, and that's just the end of the story. They have to get better at finding interesting houses and interesting scents. My opinion was somewhat swayed. I came in thinking that this service was going to be the biggest joke in the world, and I feel like I've watched legitimate growth. They almost need someone to just push them over the top. I could get into real company stuff, but I told them this. I don't think that person's there yet. They need someone to come in there, help them pick the right houses, develop some interface where subscribers can legitimately just literally rate the fragrances they've received and have that actually real-time effect what they're going to receive in the future. Not just change the notes, but do like you would do on Pandora or Netflix and have your recommendations change. I think if Centron can nail this down, they can be very worthwhile, and I think they're in the right space. I think they're hitting the right people. I think everything is right except for the product. I don't think the product's popping right now well enough, and I don't think the customer, for me, the customer retail relation is perfected at all just yet. And the fact that I, Maximilian Heusler, could receive a card with my fragrance and my name on it, and I'm someone they know that's going to be talking about them, just shows me that attention to detail that you look for in a company that you're really going to fall behind and live with and give your money to. There's very few companies that I feel like that about. There's a few. Apple's one of them. I have to say, like, the relationship I've had with a store like Louis Vuitton, that's been one of them. They really just always look out. The relationship I've had with Decant Shop, a fragrance place, which sponsors me obviously, but the relationship I've had with Nike. These are services that I've used for a very, or retailers I've used for a very long time. Kid Robot is another one that you might laugh at and go, what are you talking about? Or even a streetwear brand like Supreme. These are places that if you develop, that knows their customer, I feel like really well, and I think Centron isn't there yet. I hope they get there because I really do think this is cool. I like the idea. I love fragrance, so the idea of subscription fragrance is great. They're not there yet, and I think they've got a good amount of work to do. I hope they get there. If they choose to send me more fragrances, cool. I try to get to them every month. I think I've missed a month or two just because I'm super busy, but I'm happy to talk about honestly what they send me. And guys, if you're interested, and again, if this might work for you really well, just because it didn't work for me really well doesn't mean it won't work for you really well. I'm going to link to them in the description. You can get that first month for $4.95, which to me, there's no reason you shouldn't do that. I think the first month you get a 4 ml of a niche fragrance for $4.95 and a reusable atomizer. No reason you shouldn't do that, and see if the service floats your boat. Centrunk.com, link in the description. Let me know what you think about Centrunk. Maybe we'll see another Centrunk video in the future. Maybe we won't, but we'll definitely see more Maximilian Must Know, guys. You already know what it is. My name is Maximilian. I must know. I'll see you again real soon with this.
My heart keeps saying no. Can't find the words to explain. You always take it wrong. Call up the station, tell them play it on the radio.